Oh boy.
Welcome to Pop Culture Cave. David, Tommy, Danny.
What's going on, everybody?
So, thanks for joining us again. If you have, if you haven't, well, you should join us. And if you're watching this on YouTube, check us out. Saturdays, sometime between 7:30 and 8 is when we try and start this. So,
yeah. Kind of ish.
Yeah, give or take, loose schedule, you know.
Just to let everybody know, my man Tommy here edits the videos, so we get them around on YouTube around Tuesday, Monday, Tuesday, something like that.
Couple days.
If the recording is good, Sunday.
Gotcha. There you
Depends
go.
on how much post needs to happen.
Yeah. If it's bad, Monday.
Right.
But no, man. How are you guys feeling tonight?
Not too bad. You know, life is life. Tired. It was a good day at the shop. So, how about you?
Oh, I'm about the same, man. It was a good day today. A lot of good people came in. A lot of good conversations happened.
Yeah.
And I'm just ready to get back into some more.
Absolutely.
Now, what about you, Danny?
I'm feeling pretty good. I don't work here like you two do. But
I'm sorry that you aren't lucky and awesome like us.
maybe one day.
Maybe
Un dia.
yeah.
One day you'll get a good job, man. And they'll abuse you for no pay, too.
Yeah, absolutely. One day you can get paid to be a nerd.
Right.
But yeah, man. Let's dive into some trending topics.
Yeah, absolutely. So what do we got on the docket tonight?
So first thing, we got a new screen. And
we do.
We also want to delve into the Mortal Kombat trailer.
Yeah, this was fun.
Yeah, Carl Urban.
Bit interesting. So.
What are you guys watching on here?
Do what?
No, I'm joking.
I watched it.
I see what he's saying.
Yeah.
So, with the Mortal Kombat movie, the Mortal Kombat trailer, the first one, I talked about my issues with it, how the fight scenes, it was very shaky cam, how they
Hold on. Let's go through this and we'll go through the rest of it.
Hopefully we won't get copywritten because this is Warner Brothers.
I mean, it's open source on YouTube.
If we die, we die.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So we just, we blur this screen out on the YouTube one and it'd just be, we just link the actual thing to them.
Just be us talking.
Yeah.
Yeah, WB's very stingy.
Well, see, this isn't the trailer that you sent the link to.
I did.
Oh, this is a different trailer?
Oh,
The one that's on the document.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
this is like a teaser.
This is the Red Band trailer.
Oh,
Yeah, I
okay.
sent the
See,
Red
I
Band
didn't watch
trailer.
this one. Okay, this is new to me.
Yeah, I sent the Red Band trailer. So,
Yeah, no, the one on our working, talk about this stuff document was the Johnny Cage's his film trailer.
Yeah. Well, this
because they fucked with his sunglasses.
Well,
I'm
like
just
I was saying, like I was saying earlier, they kept in the first movie they kept utilizing the shaky cam crap and cut away from the impact of the shots every time they would fight, but they kept the scenes where they would use the moves, obviously, because you want to utilize your money as best as you can to have everybody watch your CGI stuff.
Yeah.
But this looks cool. This looks really good. I'm a huge fan of Carl Urban.
Yeah.
Love Dredd. Unfortunately, I've been waiting for a Dredd 2 forever. I think most of us have.
Yeah, it ain't happening.
Yeah, and the boys, over time, he was probably the best part in it.
I think the dynamic between him and Homelander for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, but Carl Urban's one of those guys. He's been. You could throw a rock at Hollywood studios, and he's been there filming something probably recently.
For sure.
I mean, it amazes me every time somebody that I know that they delve into The Boys or whatever, and they see Carl Urban in it, and they're just like, "Why do I recognize him?" And they look the man up on IMDb, and they're just like, "Oh my God, this guy's been in a mile-long list of things."
Yeah.
He's extremely versatile, and he's been doing, a lot of small and side roles that are. I don't want to say that they're not bad for him, but they're just the throwaway characters that you see. They got a few lines. There needs to be an impression set by the character, and there's really nobody better. At least hasn't been for a long time to do that than Carl. Now the trailer you sent, the one that I watched
It was the G-rated trailer.
Oh my God! It was definitely a rip on all of the 90s action, 80s and 90s action flicks, the karate flicks. It was very reminiscent of all the old Van Damme flicks and
Those
Chuck Norris
posters,
flicks.
yeah.
And I was just like, oh my God, this is corny as hell. And it took me a little while. I had to watch it twice. So when I watched it, I was just like, I don't like it. I don't like Carl Urban for Johnny Cage. He looks older. He's a little bit older in it. And I don't think it fits. And then I sat and thought about it for a second. I was like, let me watch this again. And then after I watched it, I was just like, okay, so Cage's entire mythos is he's an action star that's trying to prove himself anyways. He's been doing it for years. And then with the current games, which T, you caught me up on because I'm behind. I haven't played the games in forever. I think, what was it, 10 was the last one I played?
X, yeah.
Yeah, X. So it's been a hot minute since I played any of the Mortal Kombat games just because, you know, I get bored with fighting games too quickly, and I don't care enough about them to go online and play around with other people. I'm in it for the story of the game. But yeah, he's older, and he's still trying to, I guess, you know, maintain his like claim to fame and still prove even after all this time that he's the real deal. And looking at it through that lens, and then watching the trailer that you sent of it's the Untouchables trailer, or not the Untouchables, the Expendables. It's the Expendables trailer. I ain't had enough caffeine today. It's absolutely the Expendables vibes. Hey, how's it going, Lizard?
Hello.
Thank you
Thanks
for
for
joining
joining
us.
us. We're
She's
just,
not just a doctor. She's a lizard.
Yeah, right. We're talking about the new Mortal Kombat with Carl Urban. So, but looking at it like that, you know, giving it kind of the Expendables vibe, I was sitting here like, okay, this might work, and I think if anybody could pull off, you know, it would be Carl. It's weird seeing him blonde haired and clean shaven though, especially after seeing him for so long as Butcher.
Diabolical, man.
Yeah, absolutely. So, what are you guys thinking of it?
Yeah, Danny, so are you familiar with Mortal Kombat lore?
Very vaguely, but yes, very loosely.
So how did they get back to Mortal Kombat 1? Because I know that they changed it to where Liu Kang is Raiden or something along those lines.
He's a god now.
So, damn, I don't remember that, but I do remember when because the main story behind that was the MMA fighter from Chicago.
Yeah.
You remember he had his whole suit of armor, and he finally found his power. And the main story behind the main story alongside that dude was the Scorpion Sub-Zero stuff.
Yeah.
Because when
He's a descendant of scorpions or something like that in the first movie.
yeah, so and spoiler alert, this movie's been out for a while.
Yeah, if you haven't watched it, it's worth a watch. I mean, I'm a fan of even the original 2 Mortal Kombats that were just corny and campy. Like Annihilation's still my favorite of them.
Who doesn't love Mortal Kombat?
Mortal Kombat was
Moms.
fun. The first one.
Moms do not like Mortal Kombat.
You'd be surprised right now.
A lot
of the kids that we grew up with are now moms.
Yeah, but
so.
then no, yeah, it was very bad. So anyway, sorry, you were saying.
So
the first Mortal Kombat movie was good. I liked the fight scenes in it. The story wasn't bad, but to the first Mortal Kombat film, the one that precedes this one, it was basically the Sub-Zero Scorpion story, and Scorpion ended up killing Sub-Zero. Like I said, I didn't really like the fight scenes with the shaky cam and whatever, but that's neither here nor there. The effects were still cool. The story, I mean, no one was really watching for the story. I think that movie was released during the pandemic.
Yeah, it was like during or right after, something like that. Like,
so that movie was thrown into a rough spot. But this does look cool. It looks a lot better. But I'm also worried that they're showing too much.
What makes you say that?
Oh, there's a lot that they showed us. There's quite a bit that they showed us.
A lot of scenery, though.
Yeah,
I think they're just trying to show. I think they're just trying to show where they're gonna take us. You know, where, you know, the original ones, we went to, you know, the different realm, the Nether realm, and seen some stuff there, but it was very small. You know, like there wasn't a lot. You had your what was it, the beach fight spots for the beginning part of it. You had the temple. You had the desert. Even in Annihilation, there wasn't a lot of big. I think the biggest scene that was probably the hardest to pull off was the Johnny Cage and Scorpion fight, where, you know, he drug him down to the underworld.
Yeah, that was cool.
Very awesome, but all tightly contained. You know, very, very small sets, I would say. I think here with what they've shown is, look, here's the entire universe. Here's both Earth and Nether realms. Like,
you saw Goro in there too.
Yeah.
So it'll be cool.
A lot of unlockable characters, for sure.
Right.
Yeah, which is cool, because I mean, they don't have to have everybody in a fight in this one. They can have them all, you know, just kind of there, and it tease or Easter egg out to the next one. You know, and that's kind of the point of it is, you know, you want to see these characters, if they don't get into the ring, that you want to see them get into the ring.
Right.
So it's going to make you want to come back for it, especially if you're a fan of the game or the lore.
Back to what you said, Tommy, I don't think that Liu Kang and, was it the guy with the hat?
Raiden?
No.
Or,
Kung Lao.
Kung Lao,
Yeah, I don't think Kung Lao and, oh my goodness, why?
Liu
I don't
Kang?
thank you. I don't know why I keep skipping out on these names.
Because they
I
all sound the
apologize,
same.
everybody.
They all sound the same.
You said it, not me.
I did, absolutely.
Kung Lao and Liu Kang, they do sound alike. I don't think they're going to be in this movie. It's not that they didn't have their movie in the last movie, but in the first Mortal Kombat 90s movie, that already happened.
Yeah.
So
We went through Liu Kang's lore. We didn't go through Kung Lao, though, because Kung Lao is technically older.
I think he was the brother that died at the very beginning of the movie.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Kung Lao in the well, I don't know about the original.
I was gonna say, I want to say in the original lore, Kung Lao was either
He's his cousin,
an
though.
ancestor, or is it a cousin? I thought it was ancestor or descendant
Some sort of relative.
of Liu Kang. Yeah, a little older though.
I do like the way Carl Urban looks. I want to know if he's doing a lot of his own stunts. Maybe, maybe not, because of his age. Who knows? But there was a lot of flips in there from Johnny Cage. This is why I say that.
Yeah.
Well, I will say if Carl Urban is moving like that, he's moving really well for his age. But no, as I was trying to get to you, and we were talking a little bit about Mortal Kombat, I think that they're taking a bunch of inspiration from the newer games where Johnny Cage is a little bit older. He's got a daughter, Cassie Cage, and I think that that's what they're drawing inspiration for this one, as opposed to the last one where, is it Stryker, which
Yeah.
is a movie-only character?
No.
No.
He's a game. He's a game
Oh, is he?
character.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Stryker was in Mortal Kombat 2 or 3.
Yeah, he was in Annihilation for all of the beginning part of 30 seconds,
Okay. So,
if
yeah.
I remember correctly.
No,
No, was it the first one?
he was. I don't think Stryker was in any of the movies at all.
He wasn't one of the ones running around with Sonya?
No, that was
when they were still on
Jax.
Earth? No. There was another officer there. And
That was Jax.
There was
there
a
was
cartoon,
a white
too.
dude there that wasn't Jax.
I'm trying to remember.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It's been a long time since I've watched the original Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, the
movies,
original Mortal
so.
Kombat. I know Jax and Sonya infiltrated the dock.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
then
yeah.
Jax was like yelling at Sonya not to go on the boat, and she
Yeah.
went on the boat, and then we never saw Jax again until Annihilation.
Yeah.
And he was in the medical bed in that medical bay, and that's when he fought Cyrax.
Yep.
The yellow dude, the yellow cyborg dude.
Mustard.
Yeah, yeah, right. But yeah, I don't remember Stryker being in it.
See, like I said, I don't
at
think he
all.
was Stryker. I thought
He was definitely in the cartoons.
Yeah. He might have been a cartoon character, but I could have swore I could have swore there was another. And I'm gonna rewatch him just to find out for sure.
Yeah.
But
As we wrap up, man, and before we move on to the next section, final thoughts on Mortal Kombat, the trailer.
So I like the trailer. It does make me look forward to seeing the flick. I am curious as to your accuracy on the older Cage, because Cassie is him and Sonya's daughter.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, he didn't meet her until he got into the Mortal Kombat tournament himself.
Right.
Which looks like that's where this is leading to. So, do you think that maybe he's already got a daughter and they're going to retcon or rewrite that, or?
That's what the movie guys do.
Yeah.
Now, what about you, Danny? Real quick.
I think that he's going to be all by himself, and he'll meet Sonya in the tournament, and I think they'll hit it off.
Oh no, they won't. They're not supposed to, but they'll hook up at the end.
Hit it off,
Yeah,
you know
right.
what I mean, but as far as everyone else is concerned, it will be a slow burn, because I think they learned from the last movie, the first movie,
Yeah.
and I think they'll do better with their pacing in this movie, do better with their storytelling in this movie, and I think they'll just concentrate on Johnny Cage as the movie unfolds, and kind of have everything in the background just kind of.
You think they're making the action star of this one?
Right. Yeah. I think.
Well, I mean,
Yeah. Well, hey, Carl Urban.
A slight nitpick. You could hear Carl Urban's
And this
accent.
will
come
be your final
through
word.
Just a little bit.
just a pinch,
Just a
but
little bit.
yeah.
But that's neither here nor there.
I'm looking forward to it
Absolutely.
more than Superman.
Well, Carl Urban, we're trusting in you. Mortal Kombat 2 coming to a theater near you.
Are you saying that the Mortal Kombat guys could beat up Superman because they know magic?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. I'll put my money on Johnny. I'll put my money on Johnny Cage over Supes any day.
But not a saying. That's hilarious.
Yeah, absolutely.
Mom, speaking of
I'm
the
telling you right now, Carl Urban, Johnny Cage could beat up a Saiyan. Shut up, all right?
Everybody in the chat, please go ahead.
Absolutely, yeah. No,
hey, Maybe
Look,
not, man.
he'll fuck around and meet Goku at Waffle House.
Yeah,
We know how that turns out.
Well, the only thing Goku, well, not the only thing, but Goku would definitely beat Carl Urban or Johnny Cage at a waffle eating contest. At
Probably,
Waffle House, that's for sure.
Yeah. Burns more calories.
I can see I almost said a bad word. Trying to be better. I can see the stack of plates as it is, man.
Right.
But as we move on to the next segment,
What's
man.
the next one you got?
Fantastic Four, first steps. We're less than a week away. As 1/3 of the podcast moves away.
Yeah.
So.
All right, Tommy.
Let me preface my part of this by saying that I'm not a Fantastic Four fan. I enjoyed the original 2 movies for what they were.
They were fun.
Yeah, I didn't see the other one where
The Roger Corman one.
Yeah, I didn't see the one with Michael B. Jordan as Torch.
Fan Four Stick.
Fan Four Stick.
Yeah,
That was Josh Trank.
Yeah, I feel like that was kind of a unnecessary. That one, when I looked into why they were doing it, that was when I found out about the same thing that Sony does. They had to do it so they didn't lose the film rights and revert back to Marvel.
Did.
Yeah. So it was just. I feel like that was a way to maintain, and not to discredit any of the cast from that film. You know, you work with what your contract's giving you. I'm not excited for it. I think that Robert Downey Jr. as Doom is trying to tug at the Iron Man fans that are sad at Tony Stark's passing at the end of Endgame. I'm hoping that they'll do something with it, because for a little while in the books, Stark was Doom, or Doom was Stark. Their Doom was Iron Man, or however it was. I'm hoping to tie that in there. But it's already known that this is a throwaway film, that this universe is done with, that Galactus is coming here and eating it. So really the only purpose of this is to establish that Galactus is coming for the MCU as we know it currently. And truthfully, with the way it's been running for the past forever, he can go ahead and eat it. Or I'm hoping they'll use this to say, yeah, everything that we've done right here that has sucked and has upset all of you guys and chased you all away, Galactus just ate that. Those are the kind of the options that I think they have with this. Mm-hmm. But I literally think this is just a springboard for Galactus and for the next phase of the MCU to set him up as the future big of the biggest bads.
Good man. Now, Danny, what about you? How are you feeling about Fantastic Four first steps?
So my history with Fantastic Four stems all the way back to the 90s. Everybody who grew up in the 90s looked at Silver Surfer and was like, dude, who is that awesome looking character? So when you find out that Silver Surfer is tied to the Fantastic Four, you all of a sudden go through Jim Lee's run to the Fantastic Four, at least visually, and his Jim Lee stuff on the Fantastic Four was awesome because that preceded the Onslaught saga, and it was Heroes Reborn. It was after they launched that Heroes Reborn. It was very aesthetically pleasing. It looked awesome. Mark Waid had a great run on Fantastic Four. That was the one where they met God as Jack Kirby, and Reed Richards was trying to solve the problem of everything. If you guys can correct me in the chat. And they traveled to the pocket dimension for some strange reason. I don't remember why, but Sue Storm was not there.
Yeah.
They enter this pocket dimension, kind of like a room like this, and you see Jack Kirby as God. They meet God as Jack Kirby. And when they enter this pocket dimension, Ben Grimm enters as human. You guys can correct me in the chat too. He enters as human, and as they leave and have their conversation with them, he's drawing the rocks back onto Ben Grimm before they leave.
Yeah.
And it's very touching. The Jonathan Hickman's Fantastic Four made Franklin Richards a Hoss. He was the one that made Galactus his own herald. And Franklin Richards is going to be in this movie. My problems with this movie coming up are they're neither here nor there, but there are my issues with this movie. Pedro Pascal is Reed Richards. I don't see Pedro Pascal as Reed Richards. Reed Richards is supposed to be this commanding presence as much as the Captain America and Superman. Why? He's the smartest human in the world, if not the universe. Because in Jonathan Hickman's
Avengers, established that super early though.
Well, in Jonathan Hickman's Avengers, New Avengers, he literally restarts the universe with Molecule Man.
Mm-hmm.
He takes a little universe and he just throws it out into the abyss of nothingness, and then, you know what I mean? It just creates another universe. So I don't get that with Pedro Pascal as Reed Richards. And the things that I hear about Johnny Storm not being a ladies' man kind of worries me, and being kind of standing. It's like, well, that's his character. You need a fun character in order to kind of liven up the bitterness and everything, the darkness going on, because Galactus is coming.
Mm-hmm.
And if Galactus is coming, Galactus is a planet devourer, because each planet is basically a celestial egg. And so if he just devours the universe, that's how powerful does that make Galactus, and where does that leave the Fantastic Four? And speaking of Galactus and the Fantastic Four, I don't like how they gender swapped Silver Surfette for the Silver Surfer. I feel like that's a huge mistake, because now you're going to leave a sour taste in the mouths of the fans who are looking for Norrin Rad. And you say Norrin Rad's coming, and I hope that I'm wrong. I think it's going to be a long time before we get the Silver Surfer that we want, because they just put out a Silver Surfer action figure from Planet Hulk, where he has the obedience disc and everything, and he's armored up and he looks cool.
Well, Danny, it sounds like you have a lot of gripes. Yeah. But real quick.
I'll still go see it. I don't want this movie to fail, but
no, real quick, from our friend who's a doctor, but also a lizard, we have a comment. Johnny Storm not being a ladies' man is like Ben not having rocks.
There you go. Thank you.
Agreed. See, I'm wondering if that's going to be.
That's what's up.
If that's going to be an overarching character development. Maybe
you're hired.
Maybe he's going to be, standoffish until all of a sudden he's literally on fire until he's a Human Torch, and it kind of gives him some balls.
Let's see. That was not Lizard. That was Mom.
Mama Lizard.
Mrs. Rex.
But no, man. Well,
where are you at with it, T?
I think that in a bunch of these cases, you have to see it before you get the chance to judge it. But I'm at that point, man, where I truly don't know which way this Fantastic Four movie is going to go. Mm-hmm. Historically, we've not seen Fantastic Four as they're presented in that book.
No.
And that fiasco that was Fan Four Stick, it has tarnished the name of Fantastic Four forever.
And that's the reason why Marvel hasn't touched it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. There's a gigantic reason. But I also think that with Fantastic Four, there's a unique opportunity to fix it. We're putting all these hopes and dreams on what Marvel can do for these characters again, because Fantastic Four is the first family of Marvel.
Yes.
If there's no Fantastic Four, there's no Avengers, there's no Iron Man to be had, there's no Spider-Man, there's no X-Men, there's nothing. Yeah. There's magic there, and someone somewhere's got to find it again, because the Fantastic Four deserve their rightful place in history. But as far as the movie in and of itself, I think, man, you don't know what you're going to get until you see it. Yeah. But as we're winding down, I'm more interested in hear what you guys' hopes are for the movie. I'm going to start with you, Danny, since you had a lot of gripes.
So, like you said, the Fan Four Stick film left a bad taste in the mouths of fans. It was Josh Trank was supposed to have that movie as like a body horror movie, and wasn't interested in any of the stories that the Fantastic Four had in the comics. So the writer who was on board for that film left. So I don't know who's directing this film. Does anybody know who's directing?
I believe his name is Matt Shackman.
Okay. I'm not sure if him and the writers are fans of the comics. They seem to be, because the Fantastic Four movie, the Galactus looks good. Looks good. The
shadow silhouette looks good.
Yeah. They've shown little bits and pieces of him. He does look good. Again, I can't get past Pedro Pascal and the Silver Surfette and the other things that I've heard about it. Again, I hope that I'm wrong. And their family dynamic was supposed to be the answer to the Justice League, because the first issue of the Justice League, they fought Starro. So Stan Lee and Jack Kirby got together and said, we need a team. And like you said, Tommy,
the rest was history.
Yep, they were Marvel's first family.
Now, what about you, David? Wrap us up.
I hope that this movie is the close to what I will say is a failed phase for Marvel. I hope that good things come from it. Whether or not they, continue with the same cast or some of the same cast, they're bringing back a lot of names. as cameo spots, I'm sure, or fill-in roles from across the non-Marvel movies and the Marvel movies, like the non-Marvel Studios flicks. So I hope that it's the start to better things and to bring Marvel back to when Iron Man was in the cave, when Hulk smashed, when Thor's hammer hit Earth. It's kind of what I'm hoping for it. What about you, T?
When we believed a man could fly. Wrong universe.
Johnny Storm could still fly.
That is a valid point. I think that my hopes for the Fantastic Four are, we know that this is a one and done movie. It's basically an issue number 0 for the next 2 Avenger movies that we're going to get.
Yeah.
I hope that they thread that needle of setting up what we want to see, proving to people that this Robert Downey Jr. thing is viable for a 2 movie roller coaster ride that we can all get on. Yeah. And I hope that it's a fun transition into the Jonathan Hickman version of Secret Wars. But again, we won't know till next week when the reviews start to come in.
Yeah.
But on the topic of comic books, did you know that DC's coming out with a brand new Danny, you'll appreciate this as a fighting fan. It's called DCKO.
I'm reading it right now.
All right, so it's going to be 5 issues, helmed by Scott Snyder, and it's going to be a 36-man tournament that basically crosses all of your favorite fighters from the DC universe. So Danny, again, you're the fighting fan. Walk us through. What are you thinking?
So the article summary I'm reading right now, DCKO is a 5-issue Superman-centered event by Scott Snyder, who did magnificent work on Batman. He did the Court of Owls story, the New 52 stuff. He did Dark Knight's Metal. He did do a run of Justice League Odyssey, I believe that's what his run was, and he's a really good writer.
Scott Snyder is a hell of a writer.
So with him being on helm, teamed up with Joshua Williamson, who I loved Joshua Williamson's run on Flash, and his run on Superman is actually really, really cool. He threw some Dragon Ball elements in there, as well as Dan Slott is on his own Superman run, because at the end of that Superman run, Superman goes Super Saiyan after he punched a huge meteorite of kryptonite that was kind of hidden by this latent rock. It's going to be interesting, because I wonder what the roster is for this 36-man tournament, because you're going to have Superman in there. You're going to have Batman in there. You're going to have Wonder Woman in there. How many other fighters, what other fighters would you have? Powerhouses.
Oh, yeah.
The real Captain Marvel, everyone calls him Shazam.
Yeah.
But Constantine, I wonder if your boy Constantine's going to be in there.
I don't know. He's less hands to hand.
Well,
I mean, if this
thing.
is knockout. Yeah, this is hand-to-hand combat. It is the
That's
way
what
at
I
least
feel.
it's sounding. So I don't think it's going to be Constantine.
Mm-hmm.
I would be very surprised if more members of the Bat family aren't involved. And let's also not discount, though, you got your Rogues Gallery.
For sure.
Ra's al Ghul, why wouldn't he pop in? Or Talia, even.
That's a good point.
I mean, I see Luthor throwing on his mech suit and hopping in.
Do you think they'll add in some unknown characters like Black Cat? Because Black Cat's a fighting champion in the DC universe.
Well,
but he also trained Black Canary.
Yeah.
So I think that this is a universe-wide event. So it's not just breakdown characters.
It's going to be the miniseries. Yeah, the article is going to be the miniseries, and then you'll have crossover across, at least the main running broad titles. The biggest thing is also which version of each of these characters.
Yeah.
Which version? Like, is this, and is it tied to main universe or absolute? Because I don't think they've talked about any of that. At least they haven't revealed. Absolute universe, hell, it could be every single person in there because they're all hands-on.
They seem to be fighting for a power of Darkseid, Darkseid's Omega power.
Yeah.
So
Darkseid will be in it then, if that's the case. He's going to be a contender.
Some new gods will be in there.
Yeah.
Maybe
Martian Manhunter, possibly.
Yeah.
So I mean,
Orion, that's his name.
Yeah, Orion. I mean, you're gonna have. You're definitely gonna have some obscure characters that their entire lore, like Black Cat, is fighting. You're gonna have some characters that you would be surprised are not in it. Like, I'm gonna tell you right now, I don't think we'll see Doomsday in it, but I would be like, he's one of the ones I feel like should be in it.
Doomsday has an interesting story. I didn't get to finishing it for Joshua Williamson's run on Superman, but he literally punched his way out of hell, and then there was a different, skinnier version of Doomsday that came to kind of warn everybody, and they kind of made friends with Superman. I didn't finish reading it, like I said, but again, that's what happened in Dragon Ball. Goku beat up all his dudes and then made friends with all the enemies.
That's the thing, though, is, you know, these are characters that are strictly hands-on and brute fighters, but I think the hook with this story is going to be who's going after the Omega Power and their reason behind it. Doomsday don't have a reason to go after the Omega Power unless he's being manipulated or controlled. Characters like that.
And that's spot on, man, because, well, I think the thing that's going to connect this with the Absolute Universe is that, well, A, Scott Snyder's the godfather behind the Absolute stuff, and he's writing this, and they're after a dark side power. When we last left, like, this overarching event of, well, Darkseid created the Absolute Universe. What's he doing? The Legion of Superheroes were evil, and Booster Gold went over there as recon for the Justice League.
Yes, he did.
We've heard hide nor hair of anything since then. And
From
now,
Booster Gold or about Booster Gold?
all of it.
Yeah.
The Absolute books have just been sitting there on their own, selling a lot of copies, by the way.
Yeah.
But there's always this looming thing. They're in Darkseid's world. So maybe this is the first step into Darkseid's master plan.
Could be. It could be also their way of bringing the Absolute Universe into one of the, making it one of the core 52 universes that DC has. Maybe it's just going to be 53 universes now, or it's going to merge and replace a universe. Truthfully, I wouldn't be surprised if we see fighters from, the Absolute Universe. I mean, I would say that if any of these characters are going to have a chance from the Absolute Universe, I mean, I would rather have the Absolute Universe Batman than, mainline Batman.
They're much more grittier. You're a fan of your grittier
I like my dark, mess shit up characters, absolutely.
These, but these Absolute characters are really, really cool.
Yeah, they're fun.
I'm reading Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman's really cool. Reading
I like her take.
Absolute Superman's really cool.
That's a cool idea.
Reading Absolute Superman's really cool. How his cape's kind of like little particles of not kryptonite, but from his world. It's kind of like a sentient technology that helps him. And and Batman having his crest as an axe, a battle axe, is pretty manly.
Yeah.
I mean, but the way that Darkseid was able to create the Absolute Universe, because we didn't talk about this for you guys, is he merged himself with the Spectre, right? That's his name, the Spectre. And the Spectre's basically the right hand of God. He's basically meant to represent the angel Gabriel as close as you can to that.
To a degree, yeah.
And when you merge somebody like that, of that awesome power, with Darkseid, who's already super ultra mega powerful, he was able to create his own universe and his image, the Absolute Universe. So you hit on something pretty important, Tommy.
I know, because I'm not just a doctor. I play one on TV.
Yeah, I'm betting that.
I concur.
I'm betting with the Omega Power, it's going to be a way for them. Darkseid's going to want it because it'll make his Absolute Universe permanent, or it'll make his universe like that is it. There is no other option. Everybody else is probably going to go for it to either A, do the same thing and create their own type of universe, or split Darkseid. The good guys are going to go after to split Darkseid and Spectre and return things back to normal. So that might actually just be the end of the Absolute Universe, depending on who wins. We'll see what happens.
Jim Lee's going to do a cover.
Oh, I know, and I'm getting them. Absolutely.
One regular, one foil.
Yeah.
So, for my money, because I know how DC is, the answer is Superman. But, real quick, who do you think is going to win this 36-man tournament?
We don't have a roster.
Hey, off the top, man.
Off the top?
I'm biased. I'm going to go with Captain Marvel. The real Captain Marvel.
You going with Marvel?
One for Billy Batson, one for Superman.
What do you think, T? You Superman?
I know how DC is.
Yeah, I think it'll be Supes.
If they include the Absolutes, I think Absolute Superman's going to show some people up. Like, this is what I can really do.
No. Regular Superman could top Absolute Superman.
We'll see.
You know what? I'm gonna change it up a bit because everybody that knows me is thinking that I'm gonna say Batman. No, actually, you know what? I'm gonna go with the one person that I know is more powerful than Superman, and I'm gonna go with Supergirl.
Ah, okay. Okay.
I'm gonna say it's gonna be Supergirl because
Deep lore, because you're 100% accurate.
yeah, she's that's the thing is she is technically a lot stronger, and if they would ever give her a full storyline to develop that shit, she would. Yeah, the Woman of Steel.
Woman of
or
Steel.
Girl of Steel, or whatever the hell they're calling her.
Well, since we're on this girl power trip, man, have you guys seen the new castings? Oh, by the way, welcome to Chronically Online, where we discuss rumors and stuff that shouldn't be in trending topics.
Yeah.
Have you guys seen the castings for the new Legend of Zelda movie?
So
I've heard very bad.
No. The first thing I heard was very bad for the characters. Not to take away from the person that was cast, but there was a reason that person was allegedly cast. No, the actual current casting of it is not the same person we heard it of originally.
So I'm completely unfamiliar with that.
Yeah,
Who was cast originally?
I don't remember their name, but it's something we'll have to look up. And once
Okay.
again, my phone's a camera.
No, man, that's all right. We'll move on.
But the two folks that they do have cast as Zelda and Link. Looking through their repertoire a little bit, nothing I've seen. They're both English, an actor and an actress, so classically trained. I'm not a Zelda fan per se. Like the games are enjoyable. They're definitely time sinks. They're worth a playthrough. But in the time of Zelda, it's one of those things where it's either like Zelda or Final Fantasy, and I lean more towards Final Fantasy at the time with the original Game Boy stuff, and just kind of only messed around with Zelda here and there, hit and miss. But I'm not a Nintendo guy.
For the fans, you have a Keyblade.
I do.
As a tattoo.
I have two Keyblades.
There you go.
So
There it is.
I am a Kingdom Hearts fan.
Nintendo popularized them both. But real quick, let me read off their names.
Yeah.
So the actress who's going to be portraying Zelda is Bo Bragginson.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know any of her work. But the person that's going to be portraying Link is Benjamin Evan Ainsworth.
Yeah.
And you know him as the voice of Pinocchio in the 2022 Tom Hanks reimagining.
Yeah, that's it.
Oy.
And they look the parts.
That's how Tommy feels about that.
No.
They do look the parts.
That was just cool.
Let's see. What's this gentleman's name? Benjamin Evan Ainsworth. He does have a baby-faced Frodo look.
Yeah, he definitely looks, and it gives them plenty of opportunity to
Sure.
age
For sure.
age Link
Yeah.
up through a series of movies.
And Link is pretty anyway.
Yeah.
He's
not-
was
yeah.
he half elf or something, or full elf? He's got pointy ears. That's all I can tell you.
It's a different representation in the land of Hyrule. Most people have pointy ears. I forget their race's name, but he's not of that race because he was able to age up in Ocarina of Time,
Okay.
which is a story that they're hinting at doing. It starts with a K. The Kakorians, they're village people. They're like village elves. They're like
Okay.
little village gnome elves. They're basically hobbits. Just they have shoes on.
Okay. Hobbits with shoes.
Yeah, hobbits with shoes. And they're very woodland-like creatures. They very much believe in nature,
Yeah, because the Triforce is supposed to be like the entire like all things in nature is like harmonized or something like that, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Now, granted, once again, super loose on the lore of Zelda. Didn't play it much.
Princess Zelda, the person who's playing Princess Zelda, Bo Bragginson, she does look the part too. She does look like she could be a cosplayer for
If not Zelda, then definitely like Peach or Toadstool or something like that. Like definitely in the Mario. She's got that vibe for sure.
Zelda's basically an angelic witch. Not to, you know what I mean? I know witches get a bad rap, but she's basically an angelic witch who's supremely powerful when she needs to be.
Okay.
She's got a secret identity, a ninja secret identity called Shulk.
Because they all do.
I believe that's her name.
You got me. Oh, yeah, her alter ego.
Yes. Who was trained by desert assassins, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, okay.
So Zelda is not a damsel in distress. She plays one so Link can have his adventure. And that's how all the video games have always been.
Okay.
So, but Link is everyone's favorite lefty. You know what I'm saying? So, for Tommy over here being a lefty.
Oh, not just me. I think David, too.
Yeah, I'm a southpaw as well.
Oh, okay. I'm only combatively ambidextrous. I can't draw or write with my right hand or my left
southpaw.
hand. There you go.
So.
But no, man, Legend of Zelda.
Yeah, I mean, if you're a fan of the games, there's no reason not to see the movie or look forward to it and keep an eye out on spoilers and leaks and releases and stuff. Because, I mean, I can't think of any other characters outside of Link and Zelda besides that annoying-ass little fairy. the listen, hey, yeah, like
She was only in the 64 games, the Nintendo 64.
And that's when I
games
stopped
from the
playing
90s.
it. Yeah.
She was only in there for. The fairy was only in there for.
I feel
Navi.
Navi. Okay, so I feel like if they don't at least nod to her, that's absolutely. But I mean, Ocarina of Time was what system was that on?
Was that N64?
Was that 64? Yeah.
Yep.
So they haven't released, whether or not that's going to be a person that they kind of like Tinkerbell-wise or
That's a good
what.
point.
So
it was Ocarina of Time, Majora's Mask, and then they had a whole bunch of video games. That's where we got Toon Link for the GameCube.
Yeah.
They made a whole bunch. They remade a whole bunch of the older games
Yep.
for the Nintendo.
see, I played the
Nintendo.
Game Boy. I played a couple of the
Game Boy,
Game Boy and Game Boy Color and Game Boy Advance ones, but I didn't play it. I think Ocarina of Time, when it came out, that was right around when I stopped playing anything with Zelda.
So I tell you what, man, since they've stolen our fan cast from us by already casting Link and Zelda, who do you want for Ganondorf?
Oh.
I know it's a tough thing. I'm hitting you guys on the spot. It's got to be somebody.
Is his name Jason Isaacs? The evil redcoat from the Patriot?
You got me,
The guy that played Lucius Malfoy?
Yes.
Mm.
Is
I can see it.
Is it Jason Isaacs or Oscar Isaacs?
Oscar Isaacs is a different dude.
I was about to say.
Yeah.
He's Poe Dameron.
Yes, thank you.
Okay, I can see that. What about you, T?
Oh man, somebody big, intimidating. Henry Cavill. No.
That's not a bad cast.
Yeah, it's not a bad cast.
I don't know, man. Who's got an evil face besides me?
Me.
But they'll never do it.
That's
Those
why he wears
cowards.
the hat to kind of shadow everything.
Oh, that's a good one, man. You know what? Let's go left field. Paul Rudd.
Ew. You know what? I would like to see Paul Rudd play a bad guy. I don't know. I don't think he has it in him. No, I got one for you. Vincent D'Onofrio. Put the fucking Kingpin in there.
I almost clapped and messed with everybody's ears.
Yeah, put
Vincent
the
D'Onofrio was
Kingpin in
fantastic.
there. Yeah, put the Kingpin on it. Him, or if you need somebody real big and intimidating that actually can play a bad guy, Alan Richardson. I mean, he played Turncoat in the last Fast and the Furious flick. So, and that's a big dude. I mean, he's bigger than Cavill, like physically.
A big man.
So, but I say D'Onofrio would be a good shot.
He's classically trained too.
Yeah, unfortunately, and his name escapes me, and I hate that about it because I was a massive James Gandolfini, a guy that played Tony Soprano.
Yeah, Tony.
He would have been perfect.
May
May he rest in peace.
Mm-hmm.
His son is doing a fantastic job. I liked his son's character in Born Again. I liked his son playing young Tony Soprano in
the Saints film. I know.
Saints of Newark or something
Yeah.
like that, or whatever it was called.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
He definitely doing his father proud.
Yeah,
for
man.
sure. And he looks just like his dad. He mimicked his mannerisms in the Saints. It was fantastic. So he's doing a hell of a job. I hope we see more things from him.
Now, I know you brought up Vincent D'Onofrio a couple seconds ago, which reminded me that, Danny, you wanted to talk about Jessica Jones?
She's coming back for Daredevil Born Again Season 2.
Yes. Thankfully. I like Kristen Ritter.
Yeah, she's a good actress. Her Jessica Jones is really cool. The first 2 seasons of Jessica Jones were very strong. By the time her 3rd season came out, they had already pulled the plug on the Netflix series stuff and all of it.
Which sucks because they had led up to Wildcat and all that. So I was curious to see how that dynamic was going to go.
Nuke was there and gone.
Yeah.
And he's a Daredevil villain, but they threw him in Jessica Jones.
Well, so is Purple Man. So was Kilgrave. We talked about that earlier.
They actually had a Marvel Knights run where Purple Man actually had his hands on Jessica Jones, and it's very graphic.
Traumatizing.
So and
it's worth a read, but it will trigger some things if there is some if there's some trauma there.
Definitely
it
not
will
for
trigger.
kids.
not a story, not a comic book for children at all.
Not at all. Not a comic book for most adults.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that's what Kilgrave pulled from heavily with the Jessica Jones, like at least the writers for the Jessica Jones series. 'Cause that was almost spot on. Like that's what you would imagine that Purple Man would be like.
Yeah.
I still feel like they missed the opportunity by introducing him and Jessica Jones in Daredevil and spinning it off properly, rather than just kind of having them operate in the same.
David
in the
Tennant
same
did a
city.
really good job.
He did. That man can act too.
Yeah, he can.
Good Omens is fantastic. So and then I believe he was Doctor Who, one of the doctors for a little bit.
One of the best loved man of the modern Doctor Who era.
Yeah. So
He was actually crying literally at the very last episode because all he wanted to do was he was a fan of Doctor Who. All he wanted to do was play the Doctor.
yeah.
So it was and I'm not a fan of Doctor Who, but I love Doctor Who fans. Why?
We didn't ask.
They ride or die for their guy.
We all fandoms ride or die for their guy.
But not like Doctor Who fans,
bullshit.
man.
How long? 3 weeks you argue with me over Goku or Broly or whatever saying fighting a Kryptonian. 3 weeks you argue with me about it, and you still didn't win. Ride or die my ass. You still won't admit it.
But that's neither here nor there.
It's the same
But
thing.
it's
Every
not,
fandom.
not like Doctor Who fans, man.
I don't know. I think Doctor Who fans eat each other. No offense to all the Doctor Who fans.
That's the thing.
But you got
They ride or die for their doctor.
for the specific Doctor. Not, but don't talk shit about
around.
Doctor Who proper, like as a thing, because then all of them will come into it.
Yes.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yes.
No, I agree. With that.
Unless it's the last season or two. But please continue, Tom.
Hey,
Yeah,
man,
where are you at with it, Steve?
Everyone's got their favorite Doctor. No, man. I knew Kristen Ritter was coming back.
Yeah.
I knew that. The way that she talked about it and the way that she had nothing else going on, her schedule was clear. No,
She's in the new Dexter.
I don't mean it that way. I mean that her schedule was clear for her to be Jessica Jones again.
Yeah, but she's
Not
in the new
that's it.
Dexter though.
Yeah, but I'm saying it like the way that her situation was structured, she could be Jessica Jones again.
Yeah.
I knew she was coming back.
I was convinced that no one was coming back. But please continue.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah,
I'd be
I was
interested to hear why you thought that, man. Because these are the roles that they became iconic in. She was Jane in Breaking Bad, but Kristen Ritter is Jessica Jones.
Danny Rand's casting was very weak. Number one. Number two.
Oh yeah,
the
he's
gentle-
getting recast. I know it.
The gentleman who played Luke Cage
Close here.
said he was not coming back, and he's been having a busy schedule. He's been in movies.
Yeah, he's been in a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Did he outright say he's not coming back, or because the interview I read was they asked him about it, and he said nobody's talked to me about it. So I moved on. I started doing other stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But he didn't outright say, at least in the interview that I read, he didn't say, no, I wouldn't come back and do it. He just says, the only people that are talking about it are the fans. That's it.
Yeah.
Studios aren't reaching out. Executives aren't calling him about it or anything like that. So, and truthfully, Colcher and I hope I'm pronouncing his last name right. I'm probably not. But him and Ritter's, on-screen chemistry was
It's good stuff.
it was perfect. It was
Yeah.
exactly what you expect out of the comics,
Mm-hmm.
And I think that I think that if you're gonna bring Jessica Jones into the greater Marvel universe, which is what they're doing with Daredevil Born Again, you need to call Michael. Because that is, I don't think that it wouldn't work right if you recasted Luke Cage. It wouldn't. It even wouldn't work right if you recasted Danny Rand because of the dynamic between him and Luke Cage as well. Because that was probably the best part of anything to do with Iron Fist was the dynamic between him and Luke Cage. And you could see Heroes for Hire like off in the distance if they'd have kept it going with those two
for sure.
specifically. And
The street level heroes.
yeah, absolutely. I think that I don't want to blame the actor for the story or the writing that they chose to use
course.
with Iron Fist. Personally, Iron Fist to me just isn't a strong enough character to have his own thing. The comics themselves, outside of their first initial run, have never been able to get off the floor.
Another thing to answer your question, Tommy, the only person who was very heavily petitioning for a return for any of that Netflix stuff was Charlie Cox and John Bernthal.
Yeah.
Those were the only two guys that really wanted to reportray in a Disney version. Not a Disney version,
in the greater Marvel universe.
yes,
Yeah.
they really wanted to be in the greater Marvel universe. Also, in the Netflix series, they talk about all the movies leading up to the Avengers in 2012, 2011. because they called it the incident.
Well,
they
no, it was the alien attack. It was the first Avengers, the alien attack. Jessica Jones referenced it.
They called it the incident, and then they reference,
Flag waver and green guy is what she called the two. Is what she called Hulk and Cap when the two people tried to kill her because she's a suit.
Yeah, and then they referenced Thor and Iron Man. Just some rich dude with a piece of armor and then some magical hammer. So it'll be cool. It'll be interesting to see. I hope it's stronger than Daredevil Born Again season 1 because that was all over the place, man.
It had its moments. I think the Born Again they were trying way too hard to set themselves apart from all the rest of the Disney Plus Marvel shows. And
they had to.
You were trying too hard to mimic the grit and brutality that was in the Netflix shows, and I think that it was a bit overdone. So, what do you think of Jessica Jones coming back, T?
I think that the character of Jessica Jones, I think that they've done the iconic story for that character. It's going to be fun to see her as a part of the Defenders. But that little section of Marvel, she needs Luke Cage.
Yeah.
For going forward.
For her story.
Jessica Jones stuff is package deal stuff with Luke Cage.
Yeah. Agreed. Yeah, because I mean, outside of just snapping pictures of folks committing adultery, there really isn't the involvement with Luke Cage.
Dr. Lizard. Mom said the only good Doctor Who was back in the 70s.
See, that's
there
her.
You go. I told you.
Is that the one with the scarf? Because that's the question I've got. Because I know there was one with that.
So speaking about Doctor Who, they were the first show to reference a computer that you would attach your cerebral waves to, and you would go into another dimension that they called the Matrix. And then when
now we know where Keanu Reeves was actually created. The man's perfect. Let's be honest.
William Gibson made wrote a book. Sit in lobbies where they had these meetings and techies would just talk about stuff, and they would just throw around these terms that he didn't know, and he was like, "All right, I'm gonna." There's an agreement right there.
And the one with the scarf.
Yep.
Okay.
And
it's the father-in-law's favorite one.
There you go. And he would just use these terms and integrate it into a story. So from that, we got stuff like Ghost in the Shell. I know you're not an anime fan, but we got Ghost in the Shell.
I like good content.
That's the thing.
Anyways, loop back around. T. Without Luke Cage, Jessica Jones is a side character, throwaway character.
All his friends are anime fans.
I don't think she's a throwaway character, but I think that
I need better taste in friends.
There's a bunch of characters, man, that they exist as characters that are only portrayed in sporting roles. Yeah. They'd have to make up something for Jessica Jones, and Marvel's track record with making up new stories for characters is bad.
He said it with a smile on his face.
He's not wrong, though.
But I digress, man.
That's why I'm laughing in agreement.
As we transition from a show that had a couple problems with their season 1.
Before we get into it, I have one question for you that I want to get everybody's take on it. Okay.
Okay.
What if they bring Jessica? Because it's been some time. Was it 2 years or something after the Netflix version is what they're giving it?
Been some time.
I'm talking about in the timeline wise.
So
I think they're giving it a year, 2 years.
It's weird now because they did the snap.
Yeah, with the snap, but we'll say it's been a year, 2 years max. Okay. What if Jessica Jones has got a daughter in Born Again season 2?
I wouldn't be shocked.
She might show up. She might show up pregnant.
No, it's been 2 years already.
Yeah.
And you got to think her and Luke Cage they messed around a bit.
Well, they didn't. So Luke Cage wasn't at the end of the episode with the very last season 3 of Jessica Jones. She was just kind of hearing Purple Man's voice in her head. She kind of walked around, but who knows?
Yeah, but I'm just like.
Yeah. I think that's the thing that. Well, you never know, man, because Marvel would be the kind to do that off screen.
Yeah. Throw. She's got a 1-year-old daughter, or a 6-month-old daughter, or something like that, because they had a kid. They had a daughter in the comics.
That, and we know that when it comes to comic book genre stuff, kids, we hate them.
Yeah.
If you're a kid, you're getting time skipped. You're 5, then you're 12, then you're an adult.
Yeah.
Brian. You could thank Brian Michael Bendis as Superman for that because he aged up Jonathan Kent.
Well, he did do that too, but that predates him.
Yeah, that's a lot older.
But yeah, I could see it, man. I could see Jessica Jones getting back with Luke Cage, or I could see them being I could see them skipping all of the minutia and just moving them ahead to where they're this unit. They move together.
And that might be, yeah, if they decide to bring Luke Cage back in, that could be definitely like at least the starting point is family life with the Cages, basically with Jessica Jones, Luke, and their daughter, and then shit, Iron Fist knocks on the door. Who knows?
I'm gonna advocate for you. You Marvel executives.
You dirty sons of bitches.
You listen to my boy David right.
Greedy bastard.
We need two things. We need Power Man and Power Woman, and then we need another show, Heroes for Hire. You do it.
Yeah.
And then you'll get the results that HBO Max did with a show like The Penguin.
Absolutely, actually, yeah, not too far off, far off. And don't try so damn hard to mimic the Netflix stuff, man. Come on.
That's a good transit. Well, they didn't hire the writers from the past.
Call them.
Yeah.
Call them.
Yeah.
That's the smartest thing that Disney could do. Call the Netflix writers.
Yeah.
What's the last topic of the night there, T?
It was. Go ahead.
Yeah, let's go ahead, man. So I did that to transition into The Penguin, but if we're running out of time, skip that.
No, I mean, I don't know how long we've been up.
Time to put ourselves in the hot seat. Gender swaps. Yay, nay?
It depends. Because they wanted it. So I heard tell, if you guys are fans of Escape from New York, maybe Escape from LA, if you're just a fan of Snake Plissken and not Frank Miller, he's the what's the director's name?
Mark?
No. Oh my goodness. He directed Halloween. He directed Escape from New York.
John Carpenter.
Thank
Carpenter?
you. The Frank Miller of movie directors.
Oh,
yes.
just to say, you sitting here
John
threw out
Carpenter.
Miller. I'm sitting here Carpenter's
John
way
Carpenter.
off from Miller.
John
Okay,
Carpenter.
yeah, Carpenter.
The Frank Miller equivalent of movies, John Carpenter.
Okay.
He said that they wanted to gender swap a Snake Plissken. Yeah. And it's like, why wouldn't you get Kurt Russell to play an OG Snake Plissken right now? Are you gonna gender swap Judge Dredd?
That wouldn't surprise me.
Like,
They better not with the Judge Dredd thing that they're teasing at.
Oh, Mega City 1?
Yeah.
I'm not so sure if that show is going to take off. It was supposed to be an animated work, and it was supposed to be funded by AD 2000 themselves. Yeah. Then, if you gender swap coveted characters, you're going to get reactions the way you got with Fantastic Four First Steps. That's what's going to happen. You're just going to draw a line in the sand, and you're going to very much alienate fan bases galore. And that's a whole lot of dollars that you're skipping out on. That's my problem with gender swaps.
I think that what you're saying is spot on. There are coveted characters where, based off the history, and we're talking about stuff that's being adapted. There are characters that can't be gender swapped because there are certain things that those characters have to go through that are drastically shifted by the gender swap. However, gender swapping in and of itself, I can justify that for characters that support, or where it's not a thing where it affects the narrative too much. So, an example, man. There are works where there's no women at all.
If they change Snake Blister's sexuality, I will boycott.
It does not make sense. But there are
Just a rumor. We'll see.
No, we won't, because they'll never make that movie. But no, man. I can see it where it's 100% dude fest. There's no women at all in this entire narrative. All right, let's take this character that means nothing, flip him, so we have at least a couple women in this thing. Everything doesn't have to be a 100% boys club because it was written that way. But again, your main character. If you do a gender swap Spider-Man, the world's not ready for that. But if you gender swap,
there's a Spider-Woman and a Spider-Girl, but the answer to both of those is Spider-Gwen, who's hugely popular. So why wouldn't you just make a different character?
Well, that is a gender swap, though. It's just a multiverse gender swap.
Yeah, Peter Parker didn't get bit by. Yeah, I don't believe. Once again, Spider-Man knowledge is lacking, but I don't believe Peter Parker's the one that got bit in that universe.
He got turned into the lizard, and he was killed.
Yeah, he turned himself into the lizard because he was jealous.
So there you go. So with that being said, gender swaps can work if it's done correctly. All right, if you need a female character to fill that role, create one. They did Batwoman. She's she's related to Wayne on his mom's side, on the Kane side. She's gay. She's a female.
She's a cop.
She's a cop, military brat. Donned the bat. Batgirl. She's Commissioner Gordon's daughter. Spider-Gwen. Whole nother universe. We brought her into the regular universe where she was technically the Spider-Woman of that. But they also had Spider-Woman.
They did.
It was a bad movie. But
that was Madam Web. She's like a psychic. It's neither here nor there.
anyways,
They saved it for a good story. Go ahead.
this right here, it doesn't need to be a gender swap. It is merely the opportunity to expand on the family of this character that you need a gender swapped version of. Give them another member of the family. Write in a character, write in a cousin, write in a friend, write in a girlfriend, a wife, a daughter, a mother. Write in somebody that discovers this and decides to help take on the mission and carry the mantle as well. And give yourself the actual female version of it. And the most important thing is make the character compelling, lovable, and give us a reason to give a shit about the character.
Thank you.
You don't do it enough. It's kind of where I'm at with gender swap.
I hear you, man. I respect that. I think that that's 100% accurate. In an ongoing story, make a new character. But if we're talking about an adaptation where there's no women at all, and so let's say you fundamentally make a new character, who's getting swapped out? Because essentially, if you call them a new name and they serve the same function, isn't that essentially a gender swap?
I guess it would probably be something, one of those like case by case basis, and
Like all things are in the real world.
yeah, absolutely. But also too, like, is a throwaway character for the project itself, or is a throwaway character in the overall arc? Because you got to remember, Karen Page is a throwaway character in Daredevil.
Mm-hmm.
She ain't nowhere near as impactful in the comics as she is in the show.
No, the world's not ready for a cow Page, but fundamentally.
Well, and Foggy couldn't be gender swapped because Matt Murdock would have hit it. I'm sorry, Matt.
Yeah, Matt Murdock's
my
kind of a
boy
man
Matt.
whore.
He that man has got it.
He's slanging that wang all over the place.
Every single female villain of his becomes an anti-hero and ally because he lays the pipe. I'm just saying.
That's what happened. That's what happened with Star Wars in the extended universe. That
Yeah.
Kathleen Kennedy canceled. Anyways,
That's next week's combo.
yeah. Well, Luke Skywalker.
No,
was-
next week's combo.
Ah, okay.
Yeah. Don't start a fresh topic that we all have to get on board with.
No Penguin season 2, even though season 1 was magnificent.
There was never intended to be a season 2.
No, it was gonna lead into Batman 2 regardless.
Yeah, this led off great with
Mara
where it
Jade
needed to be.
Skywalker, that's her name.
For fuck's sake.
RJ's overrated. It's not even a George Lucas creation.
So yeah, no.
and George Lucas will tell you that.
Penguin season 1 was supposed to lead up into the Batman 2, which was supposed to be released originally. I think it was originally slated for this year, and they pushed it back to 26, and then I heard 27 recently. So I don't know what's accurate.
We'll get that movie in 2044.
I feel like James Gunn's got a lot to do with that, and he needs to sit down and shut the fuck up.
James Gunn hated the fact that everybody loved Matt Reeves' Batman. He also, this is just what I heard and what I read, he also
Allegedly.
hated the fact that Penguin did as well as it did because
It's not part of his universe.
it wasn't supposed to.
Yeah, he doesn't want Elseworld stuff. Allegedly, doesn't want Elseworld stuff to be as successful and or more successful than his stuff because it takes away light and it proves that he's not the biggest dick in the field. He's not the one swinging. I'm sorry.
Not only that, it's just predicated on good storytelling.
Yeah, and they had good.
Penguin was a phenomenal mobster show.
Yeah,
You couldn't if you
it scratched the itch of Soprano fans.
yes.
It absolutely of Godfather fans, Soprano fans, Goodfellas. If you are a fan of mobster stuff and you have a slight twinge of comic nerd to you, and even if you don't, you just know the names of these characters. Penguin is absolutely well worth the watch.
Oh yeah,
It is not a waste of time to see.
I didn't think it was going to be as good as it did.
I
And the special, I want to know what the budget was for that show because the special effects were very, very minute.
They spent it all. They spent it all on Colin Farrell's makeup. I'm gonna tell you because the makeup artists and the prosthetic artists that hooked Colin Farrell up to look like the Penguin. And hats off to Colin Farrell for pulling that role off because we've got people that come in here now that still talk about that and they're like, who's the one that played him? We say Colin Farrell and they're just like, wait,
what?
They have no idea.
Excuse you?
Yeah, they have no idea. But it's very reminiscent of everybody's favorite Spawn movie in Leguizamo is Clown.
Oh,
you know
yeah.
you had no idea until you read the credit scenes. You know, and hats off to the talent that had, because didn't recognize Leguizamo's voice. You know, didn't recognize Colin Farrell as Penguin at all. I think that it's a disservice to the success of the first Batman and the success of Penguin to push back the Matt Reeves movie and hope that that people lose steam and it doesn't make any money. Because to me, it sounds like the studio head's Gunn wants to kill it and doesn't want it to work. I mean, you did it with the second Joker. The first one was fine. It didn't need a sequel. It could have been completely okay. Leave it the hell alone.
He did that because he felt that and this came from one of the actors too, who was a comedian. I forget his name.
To clarify, Todd Phillips did that, not James Gunn.
Yeah, the director for Joker,
Phillips, yeah.
Todd Phillips. He did not appreciate the nihilistic fan base that was behind the first Joker, which is why he did what he did with the second one.
Yeah. No, I know his reasons, but once again, the second one didn't need to be greenlit in the beginning. Like, from the first place, like, that should have been a one-and-done Elseworlds flick, and it would have worked fine. All right? And truth be told, you know, this Pattinson Batman that we're getting is fine and dandy. It should have been the Ben Affleck Batmans. That it was supposed to be a trilogy itself, you know, and I wanted that one. I was looking forward to it. I was excited about it, and I think that the Colin Farrell Penguin would have fit very well into the Snyderverse Batman. Absolutely. I think it would have been really spot on. The same tone and everything. But that's one of the things I like about the Pattinson Batman is it does keep that same vein going. And they led to so many Easter eggs and things with this, you know, with Bliss and the lead into the Scarecrow and all of that stuff. Like there was Easter eggs galore if you knew what you were looking for. And I feel like they're gonna squander it if they don't capitalize on it. You ain't got to bring Pattinson's Batman into the greater universe, but I think Gunn wants it to end that way he can bring Batman into his greater universe. But you're probably looking at 5 years before you can even consider casting Batman.
And even then, his James Gunn's Batman might be that old school 1960s brave and the bold type.
Yeah, that's the type of Batman.
No, he knows better.
No, that's the type of Batman he wants. He wants to bring it back to the family-friendly Schumacher type of Batman.
So gray and blue I can see, but because we
not the campy bit, but the light. He want. I feel like the way Gunn's taken his universe and with the broader audience that he wants to cast the net over, which I can't blame him for. You know, he is doing things that does appeal to, you know, parents with kids and adults with, you know, the Agents of Shade. He's doing stuff that touches on a lot of audiences. You know, people like me that are not excited about anything Gunn's doing are the ones that are still pining for the Snyderverse, and I fully admit and own that. I wanted to see Justice League too. I wanted to see Superman and Darkseid square off.
Oh, that's what everybody was waiting for.
That's what I wanted to see. Absolutely.
That's why you see a Justice League film.
Yeah, and I fully admit and own up that I am bitter as hell about that. But I see why he's doing it. And he wants to broaden the audience out. But yeah, we are definitely going to get a lighter, more kid-friendly, another version of the Bright Knight instead of the Dark Knight.
I gotta disagree, man. The money, so this Robert Pattinson, one and done, completely separated from everything, and a time period where DC movies aren't doing any good. That's an $800 million movie.
Mhm.
Now, granted, I think that he's going to do a gray and blue costume because we haven't seen that in live action ever. It's going to.
We did too.
By way of.
We seen it in Flash.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
man.
We seen it. We seen it in that hunk of hot shit that was Flash.
There were two good parts in Flash. When Keaton put on the bat cowl again, and when we saw Tim Burton's little glimpse of Nicolas Cage's Superman.
When we saw Christopher Reeves and Helen Slater, Superman and Supergirl on screen together.
3.
All right. The Nick Cage Superman was an Easter egg for those that know who know. You were saying.
I'm trying to make, man, and there are some really good moments in Flash. Sometimes a good movie sometimes a bad movie can have good moments.
Yeah.
Fair.
The point I'm getting to is that the money doesn't support a family-friendly Batman. By way of how dark the Ben Affleck and Rob Pattinson portrayals are, it's going to be larger than that. It has to be. But for it to be, hey guys, I'm Batman, and do you see my son Robin? He can't do that.
Well, no.
He can't be crazy enough to do that.
Not when I say Bright Knight, I don't mean like a replacement and exact cut-in for Adam West. No, but not the Dark Knight, a brighter Knight. I see him doing that. I do see the blue and gray. I do see the yellow and black on the chest. Absolutely. I do see a lot more bat gadgets and
Less martial arts.
maybe less martial arts. Possibly. I don't know with that one.
So you know, are you talking like Denny O'Neil, Neil Adams Batman, or even later?
I feel like Neil Adams, with the way Gunn's wanting to do his, with the way Gunn's leaning into the live action stuff, at least the big screen stuff, I think that even Neil Adams might be a little too dark for it.
Oh man, you're not. Well,
Neil Adams did lean into the darkness to get away from the campiness.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Is like, you know, Neil Adams absolutely gave us the Batman and the Joker that we have in comics today. Yeah, and you know, God bless the man for it. But let's also keep in mind too the reason why it was blue and gray. It was blue because it was supposed to be highlights of black. That's the only reason that Batman had, and then they just stuck with it and kind of ran with it for a real long time and ended up just developing it as blue. But that was the original reason behind the blue cowl and cape.
Black is shadow.
Yeah.
In comic book language.
Yeah, exactly. So I think that it's going to be. I think it's going to definitely be a mixture of the pre and post Neil Adams. Batman's developed in his lore to be one of the, you know, a more mature fan based character. It would fit in with the Peacemaker stuff, with the fouler language, the more violence and everything like that. I don't see him doing that. I see the next Batman movie as being PG-13. Truthfully, I really do. I don't see it being an R movie, and I don't see it being like a streaming only, like mature rating. I don't see that happening. I see one F-bomb being dropped, and it's probably going to be dropped by Peacemaker. I don't see it being dropped by Bruce in this. Raven the Bold, I don't think that fluffy though.
Yeah. To transition, we got quick bits by Tommy. So, Cavill or Cornsworth for Superman? Cavill. I like Cornsworth, but Cavill.
I'm telling you what, this one's gonna shock you. Henry Cavill.
Really? Mm-hmm. There you go. He didn't like Man of Steel. It's not that he didn't like Man of Steel. He argues that Man of Steel stopped being a Superman movie the moment Superman snapped Zod's neck.
No.
Well, that's at the end, so it was an entire Superman movie then.
Exactly. I can be persuaded on the neck. For you fans at home, go back and watch these two moments. Superman rescues the busload of children. Jonathan Kent tells him, "No, son, you probably shouldn't have saved them." And here's the second. There's a tornado. Superman can run and go save a dog. Jonathan says, "I'm going to go do it." Then the tornado is on Jonathan after he says the dog. He waves Clark off. The teachings of Jonathan Kent are the thing that informs the rest of the movie to make it bad.
Hide.
Yeah, be a coward. But I digress. I like Henry Cavill. I don't want to ever just be said that I don't like him. he never got the chance to get his Superman movie where he could grow into the character.
Yeah.
There you go.
David Cornsweet's also fantastic, but again, he's
Yes.
getting more traditional Superman material.
Yeah.
They're doing a different job.
So you're Lex Luthor.
Pops in my head, I gotta say, Michael Rosenbaum.
Okay. Clancy Brown.
Shit.
That's a good pick.
The Bruce Timm 90s stuff was.
You can say Clancy Brown too.
No. James Marsters.
Oh.
He voiced Luthor in one of the animated bits, and
Oh.
my favorite scene is he's staring off into into like space or whatever, just through the glass, and he's just looking, and he calls his assistant. And he says, "I just cured cancer, so I'm emailing you some notes. Turn it into a 40-year treatment cycle." I'm just like, oh. Fuck! Why he's sitting here just like, I just came up with a cure for cancer. We're gonna turn it into a 40-year, just like a lifelong medication cycle.
Evil is as evil does.
That and I'm pretty confident that Luthor was voiced by Marsters. I would make sure it wasn't the new line.
No man, we could be in here all night, but I think that's where we're gonna have to end it.
Yeah.
You guys got anything else you want to touch on before we get out of here?
Why you look disappointed? Is there one more on there you want to go
There's
through?
just one little one. You're not a fan of Green Lantern, but which Green Lantern would you want?
Dude, Kyle Rayner.
Okay, there you go. He's an anime fan.
Well, he can like bad things. It don't make him not a bad Green Lantern. It don't make him a bad Green Lantern.
Jon Stewart. I love Jon Stewart.
No one's gonna shock you. I like Kyle Rayner.
There you go.
Yeah.
Should have said Simon Bass just to mess with me.
Yeah, you should have. Make folks actually do some Google search and shit.
Or Sodom Yacht, the Kryptonian Green Lantern.
There you go. Nah, man, Kyle Rayner got all the rings. First one to get all the rings to become the White Lantern.
Most creative with the constructs.
Absolutely, yeah.
Jon Stewart. I think he's the strongest, most capable Green Lantern, but.
That's that military background.
One of them was the Green Lantern, but I'll leave it alone.
There you go.
Nobody likes Hal Jordan. All right, with that, this has been Pop Culture Cave. Check us out here on YouTube in a couple of days or whenever T gets this up, based off of how raggedy the audio is. And then, yeah, once again, pretty much every Saturday, as long as we're all available and in town, we'll be here. So we'll see you.
Yeah, thank you guys for stopping by.
Thanks very much.
Thanks for playing along.